joins us to give us more insight, Leslie. I mean, once again, you hit a home run. So interesting.
Thank you. Jeff and I saw a striking amount of speeders on the road, and that's important because between 2004 and 2015, 30% of collision deaths were caused by speeding. And there's a common misconception among people that you'll get to your destination so much quicker by speeding, but that's simply not true. In fact, I found speed calculators online that let you see how much quicker you'll get somewhere by increasing your speed. For example, if you're going 65 miles per hour, you increase your speed to, let's say, 85 miles per hour, and you're going a distance of 10 miles. You will only get to your destination 2 minutes quicker.
That's
2 minutes, that's it. And I'm sure everybody here agrees, and everybody at home too, that that is not worth your life or risking other people's lives for 2 minutes.
That's an incredible statistic.
And how often do we see it that you see somebody changing lanes and speeding ahead of you, cutting you off, and boom, you pull up to the next red light,
they're right there.
and they're right there. Hi.
Right.
What's your problem? No. Not me. I would never, ever do that. Because,
Leslie,
you know,
tell us about
I used to in the old day, but now that people can recognize.
Leslie, tell us about some of the steering wheel mistakes, because I thought that was so interesting.
Yes, so the old, train of thought is basically we've all learned 10 and 2, right?
Yes.
But the new train of thought is that your hand should actually be at 9 and 3 because it's safer during a crash situation. Also, a lot of us wrap our thumbs. I know that I did before Jeff told me not to do that around the steering wheel, but that's also dangerous in a crash. You want the wheel to be able to slip through your fingers. It gives you more control.
Tell us about the importance of an escape plan.
So when I was driving with Jeff, we were behind a lot of trucks and a lot of buses, and he told me that's one of the worst things that you can do when you're driving because you are relying on the person in front of you to make the decisions on the road. Instead, we should try to be what's called a psychic driver, right? That's actually being able to scan the road at least a half mile ahead for hazards. But if a big truck or some bus is in front of you, you can't see what's happening. So you're relying on them to brake. And that can be dangerous.
I mean, I think that's one of the big keys about being a so-called good driver, better driver, is being attuned to what's ahead, what's on the sides, what's behind you.
I think there's some interesting statistics you found about when people are most likely to have an accident.
Yes, fascinating statistics. So if you are about to get in an accident and it's a close call, right after you're 3 times more likely to get into a crash.
The reason being is that there's a sense of relief that comes over when we go, oh, that was, and we have decreased cognition in that moment. In other words, we're kind of paying attention to what happened, and we're not paying attention to what's going on in front. Boom, within that 30 seconds to 90 seconds, that's when you can have an accident.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And you know what I love? I want you to talk to us about how your mood affects your driving, right? Whether you're angry, happy, sad, how does that affect our driving?
One's emotional state has more of an impact on our driving skills, our ability to drive right, than the outside influences. They really do. The top 3, by the way, out of all of our emotions, the top 3 emotions are anger, anxiety, and sadness. Anger for obvious reasons. When you're angry, your sense of awareness is much, much higher, but you're aware of what's going on, and it tends to get you more excited about things. Right. Clustered driving, slow drivers, and what you saw so many times in there was people changing lanes. That brings on road rage and aggressive driving.
Yeah. What about music?
Yeah.
The type of music you listen to affects the way you drive.
There's an interesting study by the London Metropolitan University, and it shows that people tend to drive at the pace of the music, the tempo of the music that they're listening to. Obviously, it's crazy. You think about it. But so obviously loud, fast-paced music makes us drive faster. But here's the interesting thing. I thought this was crazy. Women, in general. In general.
I'm staying out of it.
I don't know where you're going here.
Be careful, okay? In general, women tend to be more aggressive when they're listening to hip-hop music.
Okay.
Believe it or not, that's crazy. Men, it's heavy metal.
Heavy metal.
And by the way, you can also underdo it, and because these studies showed that classical music makes us subdued and makes our response time less. So you actually want to listen to music.
The opposite of what I would have thought.
The opposite. So you actually want to listen to music that mimics the human heart rate.